Every time you watch our program, you see a testimony of someone who dares to believe God. The emotional story of a life turning at the point of pure faith. There is a difference between talking about faith and actually doing faith. Well, one of our own is daring to do faith by taking a leap of faith into the unknown. Senior producer Holly Flood has told countless stories of other people's faith. But now she's writing a new chapter in her own story of faith. We recently had a little heart-to-heart about her new path. So Holly, refresh my memory. You've been with Turning Point 10 years?
12 and a half years.
12 and a half years.
12 and a half.
When you first started with Turning Point, did you think it would be 12 and a half years?
I didn't. No, where I worked before, I was there for almost 8 years. And so when I left, I said, I'll never work somewhere else for that long. And of course, when the 8 came around, I was still here, still loving what I was doing. So next thing I know, it was 12 years, but it went by so fast.
You've told a lot of people's stories of faith over the years, stepping out on faith. But now you are living, stepping out on faith. You're living it now. How does that feel? Is that scary?
Kathy, this is probably the scariest thing I ever did in my life. The thing about CBN is I'm doing a good work, right? I love Turning Point. I love our audience. I love the people we're reaching. Our team is a family more than it is anything. Walking away from the comfort that I had. When I look at it, if I could describe it as if I was standing between two doors. Mm-hmm. And one door was the door that I knew I could do my job. Like I said, it was a great work. We're blessing people. We're inspiring people. We're lifting people up. And I'm standing there looking at that door. I know all the answers. I know everything that's behind it. I'm comfortable. And then there's this other door where I don't have all the details figured out. And I prayed and said, okay, God, I'll do this. But, me, the tantrum Holly with God, right? I'm thinking, okay, here's my stipulation. I want to replace my income before I go. And just like you laughed, I think he laughed. Because
that ain't faith, baby.
Right? Do you know? I was like, okay, God, I got faith to believe I'm going to replace my income before I leave. And he wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. I don't care how hard I tried. Everything I did in my own might, my own power, everything I thought I was going to pray to make it happen, he wouldn't do it. And I understand now why. Mm-hmm. Because it didn't require the level of faith I need to even stay on this journey. If he had just done that, my faith wouldn't be as strong as it is today. I've seen God's hand in ways that I never seen it before.
Yeah. So you've walked into this new door. What are you doing? I'm sure our viewers want to know what's going on with this Turning Point beauty.
I get to do what I was doing, right? But in a different way. So I'm a certified speaker, coach, and trainer. And what that really means is that I help other people. So with Turning Point, I'll put it this way, with Turning Point, I get to share people's stories on the back end. This is what they went through. This is the tragedy they experienced, the conflict or whatever it is. And this is how they came through it. Well, now I'm just on the front end of the story. So my thing is now to help people walk through that journey, so that their story at the end is a story that should be told and that can uplift other people. So my whole thing is, my goal is to help people live their best story. And what is your best story? Your best story is that one that God wrote for your life.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are very excited that you were walking through this door, but I have to be honest, Turning Point just won't be the same without you. What will you miss the most about Turning Point?
I said I wasn't going to cry, so I'm not going to cry. Obviously, I'm going to miss the people that I work with. I'm going to miss the audience. I always used to say we had the best audience in the entire world. I'm going to miss all the people who write in and who join and say, hey, share their testimonies and how the show changed and transformed their lives. But I think above all else, I'm going to miss the way that we share the gospel without apprehension, without fear, without worry, without concern,
Without apology.
and without apology.
So there is a big difference between talking about faith and actually doing faith.
It is, because when the rubber meets the road, you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now I have my own story to tell that, yeah, you know what? When people say leap of faith, it's a leap of faith. And that's what God wants us to do. Don't let the small stuff shake you. If God tells you to take a leap of faith, he's got you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little turbulence, but he's got you and he's never going to let you go.
Well, you talked about laughter. We have had some wonderful times of laughter at Turning Point. Our production times have been funny and fun. I'm telling you, Holly, I'm really going to miss you. We're going to miss you here at Turning Point. But we will be praying for you.
Thank you.
You go ahead and soar. You go, girl, and do your thing. But don't forget about us.
I won't. I never will. I never will. You never forget about family.
Yeah.